Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Sashikonda from CZT, Carmen, Menchón, can't read my own writing, Gauana. All right. I hope I pronounced that right. I try to do a little research and I get close, but hopefully it's at least close and not offensive because I certainly wouldn't want to do that. All right, so this is an interesting tangle. It would be on the lines of a border tangle, and I'm just debating: do I want to go this way or now? Let's go straight across. Okay, starts off with a wavy line and kind of a tight wavy line. See if I can trace over this little bit without goofing it up. Okay, well, close. All right, then we're going to do the wavy line again, but just opposite. If you have ever done the tangle in a pod, it kind of starts off this way. And let's see if I can do it not as wonky as in a pod can be. So kind of crossing over in the middle. And you know what? And even if it ends up a little wonky, it's all right. We know that. Now, this one, like I said, to make it a little bit tighter, but of course you can play with that. Then next step is we're going to make just some straight lines, but creating, it's kind of a zigzag. But what I'm going to do is draw a straight line here. And sometimes I want to do it this way because I'm kind of like, I'm eyeballing this, but you could also just go straight up and then back down, kind of like a zigzag, eyeball where the center is, and that's off the page. And actually, ooh, I'm gonna try this direction. I didn't try that earlier. Nope, let's not. I was already having trouble seeing where the middle is. And come backwards on this one. And it would go down about there. Okay. Then, actually, I'm just thinking, well, you could stop there and make something kind of fun because it looks, I don't know, interesting. All right, next step is we're going to make a wave line. And you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to switch. That's a better pen. Okay. And we're going to make a less tight wavy line. And this is what I'm. Oh, no. It does matter. Okay, so it's going to essentially, we're going to have it dip down here. So you can kind of start wherever. And this one too, because I was not I don't really like to say the word accurate in the context of Zentangle because some of mine, I'm just making this nice wavy line. I'm not really worrying about it, and just making sure that it's going opposite of these peaks on both sides because when we decorate, then it creates a section for decorating. So I don't know that it has to be. Oh, let's make sure that that's a you know C curve line here, C curve line here. When I'm looking at Carmen's step out, it's like this. So that's why it's all good. All right. And in the description section, by the way, is where you'll find my version of the step out and Carmen's. And do take a look at Carmen's because she has some beautiful work on her step out, including some variations. Gives you some different ideas for decorating, and then and that gives you different ideas on how you could use it. So let's see. Well, last step before the decorating is, and I'm going to do this upside down, um, a pair of curved lines, kind of like we're making this like a little heart, connecting those peaks. And a lot of times I like to, this is what I'm doing, I left that blank there because I was like, I want to go all the way across and then I'll come back and do that. Sometimes it's just like a how I feel type of thing. So, all right. Then for decorating. Now I'm going to do what Carmen has in her step out as the last step. But know that this is the point where you can decorate. So what she did was, and that you can decorate in any way that you would like. Okay, and I'm going to start over here. And she just did some nice little straight lines. I'm going to make my knot as thin as I did. I'm going to make mine more deliberate, I should say. In my step out, I made them more sketchy, I guess is how I want to put it. They were very very thin. I was just like tickling the page type of thing, and so those little spaces at the peaks of the that zigzag that we did, and I don't know, maybe it's just because it's so small. I was having trouble even doing it with a light touch. I thought, well, if I do it deliberate, maybe that will make it a little easier. It's just the day. It's okay. So I like to like divide and then subdivide, subdivide, and then so she did that on those two sections, and then here on the larger one. So right here, actually, it works. I think it works better for me to go down from the point. This one I might fill in again, like subdivide, 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 like that. Maybe I just need to make it go slower. That seems to sort of help. Or not. Okay. You know what? So now this one, because I did this, now this one is looking like it's kind of empty. And then let's do this one here. So, it's, of course, to your taste. Oh, and then, yeah. So now they all look that way. All right. And then, when they're filled in a little bit more solid like this, then I can't see the things that I didn't like. So that's good. It's a good reason to just fill it in solid. Or not solid, but more solid than just that. But it's one of those where, oh, just be careful. Maybe I used this same pen the other day. I think it's maybe too new. I don't know what to do with a newish pen. The nib has edges, I think, and it's wanting to catch on stuff. That's my story tonight. I'm sticking to it because there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. Let's fix that line. Oh, look at how much nicer that looks then. Okay, there we go. Well, let's do this. Oh no, let's do something else. Um, let's see. Oh, that's black. Okay, I'm going to. Well, let's see. Now, when I take a second look, my first look, it was like, ugh, this looks very sloppy. I'm just going to go over, and I grabbed a PN pen. I wanted to do a little something thicker. So I'm going over this outside, those curved lines, just a little bit thicker. Oh, that makes me a little happier. Okay. I think I'm going to have to, maybe, if these little things help you, let me know in the comments. I'm thinking maybe I should put together a class on course corrections. Things to make us feel happy with our tangles. Hmm. And then Because sometimes it could just be shading, and it's actually definitely going to be something subjective because it depends on the tangle. And oh, you know what? I know one thing she mentioned. You could aura the whole thing. Let's do that and see what that looks like. And oh no, let's do it with the PN because that's what we finished with. It might look silly to go thick and then thin, or it might not. But let's just. Oh yes, sometimes the aura fixes everything. So let's do this. Well, I'm feeling like, well, I'm either going to make them, well, I think I'd rather make them look like um, pearls, like shiny stones, rather than eyeballs. I don't know, hopefully I'm not going to make them look like eyeballs now that I've said it. So I have just put a little C shape of graphite in there. No, that just kind of makes them, yes, look kind of neat. All right. And then let's do, there's lots of options. And that's where and I honestly was just focusing in on the tangle. Okay, inside, outside. Let's do it outside because I'm less happy with the outside part. And just bringing it out just a little bit, just with a little circular motion. Oh yes, and we're gonna. Oh yeah, look at that! Look at that! Oh my goodness! And then do the same on the flip side. All right, now let's make the same magic happen here. Neat. All right. Oh, one last bit. Let's go around that aura, around the outside. Yeah, I was thinking about coloring those in, and leaving the little shine, but my brain just went to, oh, it's gonna look like a bunch of eyes, and you know what? And you could still do that. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't. It could just be my silly brain. Oh, look at how cool that is. All right. They still kind of, because I just have the shading on the one side like that. You could just fill them in solid. I might even go back and do that even though I shaded it. You could go back and do every other one. So many options. And that's, well, sometimes that's what's fun about a tangle like this, but then at the same time, sometimes um, lots of options just make for having to think about it a lot, and then you know sometimes there's that. Well, I'm thinking that this looks rather neat. Here's an additional something, and just because that the opening seems, like it's too much. I don't know why. It's just my head is not liking it. So what I'm going to do is aura the inside. that's kind of neat. And then, you could probably just leave it open. Could fill it in solid. Actually, that might be kind of neat. It's kind of neat just as it is like that. So I think I'm going to just leave it. Who knows? I might come back and fill it in later as I think about it. I don't know. But that gives an additional option. And, but neat tangle. Like I said, lots of options. And that is fun. It's also neat because not only for just the decorating options, but for the course correction opportunities as well. So it's like if you're not liking something, then that could determine how you decorate it. So neat tangle. All right, if you enjoyed it, would love to have a thumbs up or a like. Feel free to share it, and if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. As I mentioned in the description section, links to the step outs, as well as below that links to connect with me. So if you enjoy my style, would love to have you join me for online classes. I do them almost twice a week, every week on Thursday, unless I have a schedule conflict, and then I usually shift it to another day, and that is very rare. And then on Tuesdays, those are the 2 days that I do things right now. Who knows, I might expand that in the future, but at the time of this recording, that's when I do it. So information is on my website. Again, would love to have you join us. We have a great time. Also have a Facebook group, a community that is pretty active, very supportive. We have a lot of fun, and would love to have you join us there if you're on Facebook. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I wish you happy tangling.